bullseye.
What's up guys, it's me Tyrox, welcome back to another video. Welcome to a new game, FIFA 17 of course. I promised you guys on Twitter and such, link is in the description, that we're gonna do a career mode. As you can see, of course I have played around with FIFA 17 a bit, mainly Ultimate Team though. Haven't touched the career mode yet, of course, until I started this career mode for the YouTube, as I promised you guys. I was debating which team I should start with, really, as I do every year. I think everybody goes through that struggle, at least the people that play career mode. Which team am I going to start with? Usually you want to go with a mediocre team that you can still improve but is not bottom of the line, or some people like to go with like third, fourth English league and work their way up. We went with Napoli because I don't know why, because why not? We went with the American Cup Challenge, or Challenge Cup, ironically, probably team-wise the easiest cup of those with the most prize money as well. We've got the objectives, which I'm going to go through in a second. Originally, I wanted to go with AC Milan, just like bringing them back to glory, but I think it's on YouTube more often than not that people go with either Juventus or AC Milan in the Italian league, and I haven't seen too much Napoli career mode, so I thought, why not? Of course, looking through the players, seeing how old they are, seeing where to improve possibly things, and the three positions where I wanted to improve things from looking at the team was the right wing, as Callejon is already 29 years old. The left back, Gulam, I don't know, I'm not overly impressed with from the stats and such. Of course, he's pretty fast, but he's also 25 years, so not the youngest, of course not old either. And the goalkeeper, which is Pepe Reina. And I wanted to go for a young keeper, not necessarily somebody we need to bring in straight away, but we could, or also build him up behind Pepe Reina, basically. That was my improvements to the team that I saw. Of course, standard emails. Objectives, youth development and financial objectives are low, so not too much to worry about. I still signed a youth scout right there. I haven't used him in this episode, I think. I actually haven't used him in this recording. After this, episode 2 might be mostly the first recording still as well. Then, before we get into the first gameplay, little spoiler there, no gameplay yet. We're gonna go into the first gameplay, and the next recording I'm gonna send the youth scout out, just so you know. I'm not gonna play the Challenge Cup, or the first cup that we got invited in. That's a cup I'm gonna simulate, just because it's the first month or so, first 1.5 months. I want to do some signings and such. I mean, you guys that play career mode usually know you want to get into the signings. You want to sign players straight away, and you don't want to waste your time playing too much games. I don't rate those cups too highly, so I wasn't bothered with simulating that. Continuing with the objectives, we had the brand exposure and continental success on high. Brand exposure is mostly kit sales, I think. I'm not sure exactly how we're gonna improve that, if it is just, the team's doing well, so the brand exposure is gonna improve, or if there's more to it. We'll figure that out as we go. Of course, if you guys have more insight, feel free to leave comments and suggestions down below for transfers, how to play, what brand exposure is, for example, stuff like that. Hit me in the comments down below, and we're gonna figure things out together. If not, continental success meant that we had to reach the quarterfinals in the Champions Cup, Champions League, whatever you want to call it. Domestic success was critical, so that's the point where we really need to pay attention what we do, as I set the parameters to goalkeeper, left back and right wing to see what the scouts offer. Domestic success, we should reach the Champions League qualification at least, and the National Cup final. I say Champions League qualification at least because within the first 2 seasons, so if we're not doing this season, we're supposed to do it next season. We are supposed to win the league. So that's going to be a tough one, especially against Juventus. I would imagine definitely the toughest contender. But of course, you got AC Milan if they're doing well. You've got Inter Milan. You've got a few very, very good teams in there as we go into the first match against Dortmund in the Continental. No, what was it called? I don't know. The Challenge Cup, we're going to call it. We win the game, no problem whatsoever. We are at home, so even though, of course, technically it is in the USA, I think, the game will still register it as a home game, I would imagine, if your team is on the left, basically. We've got the scout set to the 5 big leagues, I think England, France, Spain, Germany, and Premier League, if I'm not mistaken. We've got a few offers. I scouted players first. I went for a 17-year-old French goalkeeper who actually has an inform in Ultimate Team already. I've seen him in Ultimate Team. I've seen a video on him, or not a video on him. I've seen the YouTuber react to him more or less, and just seen that he is very young. And then he was like, hey, career mod? Maybe you're gonna go for him, as he's only 17 years old. I was like, I saw him in there, as the scouts have already suggested him, and I was like, yeah, why not give him a shot? We got a transfer offer for Lorenzo Insigne, who's of course going to play the left wing for us. No chance. It is Man City. Still no chance we're going to sell that. Definitely not. As he, I would hope, is one of our key players. Together with, hopefully, Milik. But we'll see about that. We get an offer for Strinic from Empoli. We're going to counter offer that with the, I think, what he is worth, hoping that we get the best of our money for him. And now I'm gonna actually create a second team sheet, as it is just easier to rotate. We have won the first 2 matches in the Champions Cup, or in the Challenge Cup rather, in the group, so we are through definitely. So I was gonna say we're gonna challenge them now with the second team, give the first team a rest. They're not overly tired, but why not give them a rest? Let the second team, let another 11 players get some game time. I like to basically have a squad of 22 players. 2 players for each position is roughly what I want to keep. Of course, maybe 1 striker, 1 forward, 1 midfielder, 1 defender extra, so we can cover injuries a bit. But that's my general philosophy, if you want so. Against Boca Juniors, they equalized early on after we've scored with Gabbiadini. But, of course, Mertens is there to score another goal. They get a 84th minute equalizer, I want to say. But in the 86th minute, very, very late again, we score the winner there. 3-2, 3 wins out of the 3 group stage matches. Puts us into the semi-final against Liverpool. The other semi-final, I believe, was Manchester City versus Dortmund, as we reject another offer, this time for Koulibaly, another key player. I have set some players onto the transfer list, some older or like 23, 25-year-old players that are not really top notch and not looking to improve much more. I was not gonna go for Donnarumma in the first place, as I thought, especially in the Italian league, you're probably gonna see him more often than not being bought, as he is of course one of the youngest goalkeepers, if not the youngest goalkeeper. Not sure how he fares up against that French guy that we're looking to purchase, but of course, he has huge potential as well. But as I said, you're probably going to see more than enough of him on YouTube, on career mods. Maybe going to sign him yourself because you are interested. Berardi is someone that I'm very much interested on the right wing. Lamela as well. I'm kind of interested. I don't know why. I've always liked Lamela a bit for career mode, so I thought, why not Lamela, Berardi? Those are 2 shouts. We've got a few left backs on the scouting list that we're maybe looking to see if we can purchase. Of course, we've got a decent amount of funds, I would say. Not incredible funds, but the financial objective is low as well. So we can definitely spend some money there. As we go into the semi-final against Liverpool, and it is 0-0 early on, Sacco getting a yellow card. Then Origi is the man to bring Liverpool 1 goal up. Gulam actually equalizes, the man I was not overly fond with at the start, but we lose on penalties. Very unfortunate. Get a transfer offer again. Board was happy with the performance. We loan Marco Rock to Wolfsburg, and that is where we're going to close up the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next episode of the Napoli career mode. Until then, I'm out. Have a good one, and peace.